following podcast contains jokes and laughter, but we want to make it clear that humor is never at the expense of the victims or the tragedies discussed. If you enjoy a blend of comedy and true crime, you found your podcast. However, if you're easily offended, this might not be the right fit for you, and that's perfectly okay. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome back to another episode of Melanin Mysteries, the podcast where we mix true crime with a little spice and a lot of side eye. Today, we're diving into the tangled web of love, lies, and lunacy that ends in tragedy. It's a story so messy, even a Maury episode would say, y'all need to calm it down. So buckle up. This case is a case of Carla, Hughes, and Avis Banks, and we can't forget, this case also involves an ain't shit nigga named Keyon Pittman. I'm your host, Tiffany.
And I'm your co-host, Willie. Here we go.
It's November 29th, 2006 in Ridgeland, Mississippi. You're leaving work. You hit your side chick's house and now you're on your way home. Nothing out of the ordinary, just another day deceiving your loving fiance. She's 5 months pregnant with your son. You give her a call just to check in, let her know that you're on your way, but she doesn't answer. So you call her mother-in-law and ask her if she had heard from her daughter. She says no, but when you speak to her, have her call me. So you think maybe she's using the bathroom, that baby probably sitting on her bladder or something. Nigga probably driving along thinking he is shitting, he got holes on deck. Probably listen to Pimp C or some shit. And who is this that we're speaking of? Oh, this ain't shit nigga. His name is Keyon Pittman. But we'll get more into detail about Keyon a little later in the story. So Keyon, he pulls into his driveway and he hits the button on the automatic garage door opener. The garage goes up and all he sees is the body of what he assumes to be his pregnant fiance lying on the ground. So he's freaking out, thinking maybe she fell. Well, Keyon, had your ass been home instead of at your side bitch's house, maybe you could have prevented this. But anyway, Keyon, he stops his car in the driveway. He hops out and leaves the door open, engine running, and runs to her side. She's laid sprawled out on the floor of the garage. Blood is everywhere. The mail is still in her arms. Her car keys are on the ground. It's clear she's been shot, stabbed, and her throat has been slashed. Her pants had also been pulled down. So Keyon, of course, he cradles her head to see if she's possibly still breathing, but unfortunately, there's nothing. So Keyon gets up, and you would think this nigga would, his first call would be 911. No, you're wrong. That's not what he does. He actually calls his side piece. And then after he wraps up that call, he runs to the neighbor's house and asks her to call 911 because his fiance has just been killed. And mind you, during all this, his phone is still in his hands.
Damn. He probably called the side piece because that's his calm. Like usually when niggas have a side piece, they be the ones that kind of calm them down and give a little peace and everything. So he probably was just trying to, calm himself down. You on this nigga head. Damn.
Nigga, you just walked in your fiance's in the first person you think to call is your side bitch. You may think like it's so many more people you
I
could call
mean, you was on
side
his head before that part. God damn, man. I mean, granted, he ain't Asian nigga, but
He ain't shit
technically,
nigga. He ain't shit
they
nigga.
not married, so he can have a side piece. That's
No,
all I'm saying.
no, he cannot have a side piece
I mean, when
because
you marry, it's a contract. You know what I'm saying? That's just like if I were to get a phone, like if I go to AT&T and T and I get a contract, I'm obligated to abide by that contract. But if I'm at, I don't know, Boost Mobile month by month, I can do what the hell I want.
she's pregnant. Your contract is locked in. You put a ring on her finger. You're planning the wedding. Locked in
So
already. I have
every chick that get pregnant, every hoe that get pregnant,
no, but
you gotta
he
put a
put a
ring on it.
ring. No, he put a ring on her finger, which is he put her on layaway
I'm
basically.
thinking about marrying you. If you keep
No,
fucking
I
up.
put you on layaway. That's what it is.
Exactly. So there's no true commit. You know what? Let's move on. So let's talk about his fiance, Avis Banks. So Avis Marie Banks was born August 18th, 1979, in Vicksburg, Mississippi, to her parents, Frederick and Deborah Banks. Sorry about that. She was a middle daughter, and she had two sisters, Latoya, Fredria, and that's the weirdest name in the world, Fredria. Whatever. Her mom, Deborah, ran a home health care, and her father was a city street sweeper. Growing up, Ava was very, very quiet. She was so quiet that her mom said the school was concerned and thought she would just stuck up because she didn't talk. But Ava was very smart. I'm talking about very intelligent. She excelled to school. She graduated in 1997 from Warren Central High School, and she went to Alcorn State University, where she graduated in 2001. She was the first college graduate in her family. Do you know I was the only person that graduated out of all my brothers and sisters from high school?
That's a damn shame.
It's a goddamn shame, man. It ain't my mama fault. You know what I'm saying? She did
I
all
ain't
she
my
can.
mama.
It's them other niggas, man. It's her other kids. Something ain't right.
You the only normal one out of them kids, so
I know, man. I know. See, I think I'll no shit. I don't know. No, I was born in the '80s where crack was real prevalent and heavy in the city. So I don't know what it was, but yeah, nigga, like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck type of Similac she was feeding them niggas, but I must have been breastfed. Just throwing it out there. So she wanted to cater to her parents who couldn't afford the cost of daycare. But in the meantime, she was working at a daycare. At the time of her death, she was 5 months pregnant with a baby boy.
rest in peace.
Yes, ma'am.
So an ambulance and detectives arrive on the scene. They find Keyon holding onto Avis's body, screaming and hollering. Now, after Keyon had the neighbor call 911, he apparently remembered that he had his own phone and he called Avis' mother again. This time, he's screaming and hollering the phone, saying something happened to Avis. And instead of her telling exactly what happened to her daughter, this fuck nigga hangs up the goddamn phone.
Damn. You don't like that nigga, man. I
No,
see.
don't.
I get it. I get it, man. I mean, he did some fucked up shit. I agree. So let's get to Avis. So Avis' parents lived about an hour away. And Avis' mom said that her and her husband hopped in that bitch. And that bitch, I mean that car immediately. And the entire time they was thinking that Avis had lost the baby and how they were going to be able to cope with her and kind of, help her with the grief of losing the child. The detectives all had to almost physically remove Kenyon from Avid's body so they could do their job. Because I guess the nigga was, grabbing her, mourning, whatever you want to call it. They taped off the perimeter of the house with the standard crime scene tape, and they poured Kenyon to the side to try to find out what happened. But he was so distraught. So they just had to send this little back ass in a police car for the time being. They're like, this nigga doing too much. So go ahead and just chill out. So by this time, Avis' parents arrived. They were not able to get past the tape, nor were they able to get a hold of Kenyon to figure out exactly what the fuck didn't happen. So her parents said they just kind of stood outside for over an hour waiting to find out what happened to their daughter. Now that's fucked up right there. A
Mm-hmm.
whole hour and you just sitting there waiting, just the thoughts going through your mind, not knowing anything. You can't get in contact with quote unquote ain't shit Keyon. You know what I'm saying? The nigga yelling, hang up. That shit must have been crazy. Like emotionally, mentally. Oh, that shit was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they saw the crime scene tape, and right there, they knew Avis was gone. That's fucked up. So murders were an extremely rare occurrence in Richland, Mississippi. So this shook the community to the core. Now, while detectives were canvassing the crime scene, they noticed the gunshot wounds and stab marks. So they overkill. They shot her and stabbed her. That's fucking hate right there. Real talk. They also take note that the back door was kicked in. So it kind of looked like someone tried to kick the glass in, but it wasn't budging and the deadbolt was still in place. And the person was able to get in by kicking through the door jamb. And whoever it was left a muddy footprint on the door with their men size A shoe. So if it was this nigga Kenyon, I'm not saying it was, the nigga's a midget. A
Yeah,
size
he's
A
only
shoe?
5'6". He's only 5'6".
Oh, he found, yeah, the nigga's, yeah, short as fuck. Anything below 6 feet is you a midget. Small man complex. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I didn't make the rules. There was also a bullet that was left in the wall and inside the house. The drawers, like the kitchen drawers, everything was pulled out, and the house was like ransacked to make it appear like it was a robbery gone wrong.
Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah.
So while police are securing the scene, Keyon was in the back of the police car just raising hell, begging the police to let him get back to his fiance. And they just got tired of that nigga clowning. So they took him down to the station because, well, one, he's the one who found her. He's her fiance. And they always check out the partner first. Now, when Keyon got to the station, they said if Unbothered was a person, that would have been that nigga Keyon. So Detective John Neal said it was like really off-putting. He said the man was like laughing during questioning. Your fiance was just brutally. I mean, what the fuck is funny? I don't understand.
Yeah, but that's crazy. Just like mere minutes ago, you was holding her body to the point they had to pull your monkey ass off. Now you and this bitch laughing. They gotta remind you, like, nigga, your fiance was murdered. Like
Right. So
what?
they said they literally had to remind the nigga that his fiance was dead. And they said this nigga literally said, "Oh yeah."
Ah, this nigga. Yeah, I'm with you. This nigga ain't shit. God damn, Keyon. I would
Exactly.
pull
So
him for
so
you.
you see where I'm coming from.
I
He ain't
would put. I'm just saying. I'm just saying the nigga was cheating. I give him that. You know what I'm saying? He had a little side chick and everything. So I'm not saying he wrong for that. But this right here, my nigga, yeah, he lost me with this one. So Keyon, you got a target on your head from this point on. From me, go ahead.
exactly. So the detectives at one point they just stepped out of the room. They was like, "Let me get this nigga a break." They needed a break from that nigga, and they was gonna like watch him for a little bit. And I don't know if this nigga didn't know or he just didn't give a fuck, but he was being recorded. So this nigga, what does he do? He pulls out his phone and he makes a call. And they said he spoke with someone and said, quote, "These motherfuckers think I had something to do with this shit, babe. I mean, what am I gonna do, babe?" He also made a call to his attorney and he was visibly upset. But he wasn't upset because his fiance was dead. He was upset because he was a suspect. And who the fuck is babe that you're talking to, sir? While
Yeah,
you're
this
being
nigga.
questioned about your fiance's murder.
Yeah, this nigga doing too much, man. Fuck that. Like, this your fiance. Like, nigga, you gotta be like, you got your bottom hole to this and that. You gotta kind of, what you mean? What's the word I'm looking for? Prioritize your bitches, man. You
No,
don't
we're
call a
not doing
side chick. Like, no, you fuck. This nigga doing too much, man. Can
you
ya?
doing too much. You're doing
What? He do. I'm saying though, if you got your main chick who pregnant at the house and she dead, why is you calling your side chick talk about babe and shit like that? Like, come on, bruh. Like your side chick should be your side chick. She wouldn't even got a call from me. Not that I got a side chick. I'm just saying. Go ahead. Let me go ahead. Anyway, so let's talk about this nigga Keyon background a little bit. First of all, Keyon ain't shit Pittman. Was born July 29th, 1975. He was a Leo like me. What was that good or bad? Anyway,
I was about to say I wouldn't shout that out. Yeah.
don't do that. Somewhere in Michigan, okay? Leo, we ain't that bad, okay? We get a bad rep, but we ain't that bad. So there really isn't much information about how he grew up or if he has siblings or anything like that. He also did graduate from Alcorn State University with a degree, just like old girl did. But he got his degree in biology, health science, and physical education. So he wasn't a dumb nigga as far as books go. But as far as handling his bitches, that nigga was stupid. He also was a member of Alpha Phi Alpha. He played college division two basketball as a point guard. So Kenyon worked as a math teacher at Chaston Middle School, where he also coached basketball. Kenyon is asked the standards question: "Did you do this? Where were you? What happened?" etc. Detective Frank Dillon questioned Kenyon for 6 hours, and during the interview, he got Kenyon's side of what happened that evening. So this is what Kenyon said. He said that he found Avis' body after he came home from basketball practice at Chase Middle School. He was probably cheating, where he coached. He said he stopped by a friend's house to grab some groceries. He had dropped off before he went to practice, which that don't make any fucking sense. Why did you just leave him in the car?
Exactly.
That I guess after he left practice, he was supposed to bring those groceries to Avis, and then when he got to the house, that's when he found her. That don't make no
Like you
sense.
said,
So I
why
go
don't you just
grocery
be a
shopping, drop the shit off to somebody else's house,
then go
then
back
put
and
the
pick
shit.
it up? It's November, the end of November, so I'm sure it's cold.
Yeah, well, yeah, Mississippi. I mean, it get a little chilly,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
regardless, though, I mean, even if you were
Michigan
getting
enough.
frozen meat, yes.
Right. So anyway, they took photos of Ken's clothing because he had blood splatter on his button-down shirt and on his pants. So they also tested his hands for gunshot residue. And when Kim was asked about the blood on his clothes, this man chuckled. Like he real life chuckled. I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck is so funny. But
This
anyway,
nigga.
they then asked him if he could sign his Miranda rights warning, and Keyon declined and said, "quote I'm not going to sign that because you could easily go back and write in charges, and they ought to just because you ain't shitting it."
Okay,
Again,
okay.
maybe he's not as stupid as he looks. But anyway, the detective said, this just allows us to ask you questions. And Keyon's response was, quote, "I'd rather have somebody here. I really don't like this situation at all. And I feel like I say it's me by myself and y'all keeping me from everybody and y'all saying I'm innocent, but I'm upstairs away from everybody and y'all aren't letting anybody in. So that's not voting too well with me right now. Crybaby ass nigga." They let Keyon go for the time being, and the very next day Keyon hired an attorney.
Mm. Looking kind of guilty there, young man. Looking kind of guilty there, young man. In the meantime, police have to pull all this shit together and find out who killed this woman. The detective did not like Keyon at all, right?
I
And
don't
you
like
get
his
it
ass
because
either.
we know. Yes, we definitely know that. It's right there. Everybody knows who hears this. They feel he was completely unemotional and self-centered, which he was. He was definitely was an asshole. In real talk, they just wanted to catch his head because they felt like they had their guy, right? So it came to light that Kenyon also had a part-time job as a bartender at a local restaurant. So he literally putting himself in jobs and situations where he gonna be around a lot of women's. You know what I'm saying? He's a
Cause he's a
teacher, which
cheater.
we know all teachers cheat. This nigga is a coach of a basketball. None but a bunch of single women, unfortunately, and this nigga's a bartender. He got hoes. Kenyon had hoes, and what he would do was he would have them come to keep him company while he was at work. So he probably get them hoes a couple of drinks and everything. They keeping him company. Now, poor Avis is at home, minding her business, taking care of a home, and she isn't even concerned about Kenyon. In her mind, she got a good man.
He's a good man, Savannah. A good man.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Ain't nothing like a oh shit. Hold on. I look idiot, but ain't nothing like a good head woman that really really is so committed to you that she just in la la land. You know what I'm saying? It's when you're a cheater.
I'm not laughing, as you can hear.
I'm
I'm
just
not
saying
laughing.
though, because you can literally be out if you say anything. She's like, well, no, he wouldn't do anything like that. Shout out to the good women at home who getting played. So she really didn't check on them that much. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They don't check on you. So you can just roam the prairie and do what you want to do.
Because
I'm
you
not
should,
saying
not because you're supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing. That's what I'm supposed to be trusting you to do. I'm not doing this with you today. I'm not doing this with you
I
today.
okay.
So anyway, while Keon's supposed to be out getting a check, he's skinning and grinning these bitches' faces like he ain't got a pregnant fiance at the house. But that's neither here nor there at the moment. So we're gonna talk about how Avis and Keon met and
Okay.
their little background. And
Okay.
you be quiet.
Yes, ma'am.
So Avis and Keon, they met around 2004. And like we said before, Avis was very quiet, shy even. So Keon was her very first real relationship, according to Avis's parents. The two dated, and within 6 months, they moved in together and bought a home. And Avis, she grew up in a very strict household, and sex outside of marriage was like really frowned upon. So when Avis got pregnant unexpectedly, she was like really remorseful for not doing things the right way. They said she apologized to both of her parents, and she said that she planned to make it right by marrying her baby daddy. Now, it's really unclear how the actual engagement came about. I'm not sure if Keon like just organically proposed or if he was given an ultimatum. And honestly, to me, it's kind of given like, I gotta make this right, so we need to go ahead and get married. That's what it's given. But I don't know. Be quiet.
Obviously the
Like,
nigga
be
didn't want to
quiet.
get married. Yeah.
I told you be quiet.
I'm sorry.
So anyway, the wedding they had was scheduled for February of 2007. So just a couple months after Avis was murdered, she was supposed to be getting married. And at the time, Avis would have been about 7, 8 months pregnant by then, but at least she'd be married before the baby was born. The baby wouldn't be born out of wedlock. And she could finally say, I'm married now. Continue to make her parents proud.
There you go. There you go. So there are some things in Kenya's story that they niggas they scratching their head like, dude, this really ain't making no sense. So he called Deborah asking if he had seen Avis. Now remember, Deborah is Avis' mother, but he had only called Avis twice that day. So why would you feel the need to call her mom? Hmm. Yet he was texting and making calls all throughout basketball practice. So how do
Mm-hmm.
you do that? Yes.
Because you like
Next,
this nigga.
exactly. Next was that Kenya was known to enter the house through the front door. So why all of a sudden would you open up the garage door? Like, did you know something was there? And lastly, why the hell would you go next door to your neighbor to have her call 911 when your fucking phone was already in your hand? And why was the 911 the first number you dialed instead of calling your mistress? Now that was it. And now, granted, I did make the joke before in the beginning or whatever about the side chick, but yes, why would that be the first fucking call you make rather than calling 911? Right? Ignorant. So police are still doing their police work, and two women in particular stood out to them. that could be of some type of interest, both of which Kenya had a relationship with. Told you, Kenya had hoes. The first was Bridget Matlock. So Bridget was the mother of one of the students Kenyan coach. There you go. Did I tell you that? Remember I told you how teachers cheat and everything? The one teacher, I mean the one principal that my ex-wife cheated with, he was a coach also. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know he was a coach also.
Yes, he was. He was a coach at Shaker Heights.
Mm,
So
mm,
you can
mm.
look it up if you want. They bring Bridget down to the station, and real talk, she don't want no parts of whatever the hell happened to Avis. She, of course, heard about the murder, but she absolutely did not want her name attached for anything associated with this, and guess why she didn't want it, right?
She got a whole lot to lose, probably.
Yes, and what look, meaning she had a husband. So she was over there trying to do a little, little nasty with this nigga. And it just so happened he get involved in the murder. So she like, I don't want my name involved in this, whatever. I'm telling y'all nigga what you want to hear. So from phone records, it looked like she and Kenya were in the beginning stages of affair. I would probably say they were already fucking. It was mostly just phone calls and text message. They were fucking a lot of them, and yes, they were S-rated, and for a explicit contest. So what do that mean? They were
That
fucking.
mean no, it
Yes,
does not. It just means
man.
that they
If you sending me coochie pics, and we working at the same. I'm coaching your son. I'm doing something.
well, they just may not have gotten there yet, but they was
No,
about to.
look, we having a conversation in the car real soon. Y'all want to talk about your son, his dribbling skills? Let's see how your dribbling skills are. Huh. But it
Mm.
appears that was about the extent of the relationship. I don't believe that. The day of the murder alone, the two had sent over 40 text messages and several phone calls. And
Don't text
Bridget
me that goddamn
also,
much. That's too much damn texting. I'd be annoyed as
man,
hell.
like you trying to tell me when you first start kicking with a nigga that you like, you don't be texting that much?
Maybe
I mean,
only
40 text, no, no, no. 40
40
text
text
messages ain't a lot.
messages.
No,
Yes, it
it's
is.
not. And I'll tell you why. If I say, "Hey, what's up?" You say nothing, just chilling. And I'll say, "Oh, okay, okay. What you got planned for today?" "Oh, I'm not doing nothing." "Okay, well, me too." That's 6 text messages right there.
Okay, well, see, my thing is, get to what you. I hate people niggas beat around the bush. What the fuck are you trying to say?
Okay,
Talk
but
it
okay,
out.
so when a nigga do that to you, you get mad. When they say, "Look, I'm trying to get some draws, Tiffany," then you mad because he ain't trying to get to know you. Thank you.
Well, first of all, but if we never mind. We're not even
So
about to go
look,
down that rabbit hole today. But anyway,
don't, I'm just saying though, look, and Bridget also
no,
had to
because
sell out.
okay. So the
Oh,
thing
you want to talk about
is,
it?
if we're just having a general ass conversation, first of all, like just the first thing should not be like, "Yo, can I get some ass?" It should be
You said get to the point.
get to the point, meaning are you trying to take me out today? Like, are we meeting up today? We're gonna meet for coffee, like ice cream. Like, what are you doing? Like, I just don't like small talk anymore. My patience is bad.
So he just getting to the point, like, look, all right, Tiff, I'm about to take you out. The intention is to get you something to eat. Hopefully, we gonna do the nasty, and
Now
that's
you
what's up.
already know what my response gonna be. I'll pass, but it's
Oh,
cool.
I thought your response was gonna be where we going to eat.
No, because I like that. Like that's my pet peeve. Like, don't say shit to me about sex too soon. But whatever.
You know
Continue.
what, man? You acting too serious right now, man. I'm
Whatever.
just,
Go ahead and continue, because I'm over here pissed the hell off with this nigga Keyon.
I
Okay.
see. Damn, Keon, with your bitch ass. The other woman they had their sights on was a young lady by the name of Carla Hughes. So tell us about Carla.
All right, we're gonna talk about Carla. So Carla Ann Hughes was born June 12th, 1981 in Greensville, Mississippi. She was adopted by her parents, Carl and Linda Hughes, when she was just 6 weeks old. Her birth mother was a cousin of the family who had already had several children, but due to financial issues, she wasn't able to take care of another child. So Carla ended up being an only child, and her parents absolutely adored her. And from an early age, Carla was taught to excel at anything she did. And when I mean she heard that and she tried to do everything in her power to do that. So both of her parents were teachers. And Carla would also follow in their footsteps. And she was a daddy's girl, especially because her dad didn't have a son. So Carla played tennis. She played soccer. She was a cheerleader. She ran track. She played basketball. She was a majorette. She was on the student council. She was also a beauty queen. She competed at the Mississippi National Teen and Miss Teenage America pageant. She was also an honor student. She was on the mayor's youth council. She also walked horses with her father. And in 1995, when she was 14, she was crowned Mississippi State champion for those walking horses. And then she finished sixth in the entire world competition. Black girl magic, right? Woo!
Right.
And that's
Say it
not
again.
all. That ain't all. So then Carla, she graduated from high school and went on to graduate with honors from the University of Southern Mississippi. Then she wasn't done. She went and got her master's degree at Beth Haven College and her doctorate in education.
Damn.
That girl wasn't nothing to play with.
Education. God damn, man.
So in 2004, she was engaged to get married, and she was very early on in her own pregnancy. And unfortunately, the day before the wedding, her fiance left her at the altar. So she just
Oh,
went on to raise her son as her own, on her own rather. And she taught language arts at the same middle school that she and Keyon, you know. And then she was also the cheer coach there.
I'm
They spent
telling
a
you,
lot of
man.
time together.
Yeah, some teachers be, man. Them teachers, they be teaching each other some shit, all right. I'm telling you. I'm a victim. Did I tell my story?
You've told your story several times. I might want to hear your story now one more again. We don't want to hear it.
Okay, I was just making sure. That's it. Anyway, so now when Carla come down to the station, she boo-hooing. I'm talking about she going overboard. I'm talking mascara just dripping and shit. Just, the fake ass eyelash, his hair, if it's one of them is hanging off and everything like that. And you would think that her fiance was the one that got murdered. So when she was asked, like, you good? What's wrong? She said she was just so upset that Avis was dead. Hmm. So Carla was
Mm-hmm.
first asked about she and Kenya met. Like, how did they meet or whatever? Carla and Kenya met at the middle school. They both taught at, and Carla was a language and arts teacher. Carla said, I saw him and I heard him talking to another teacher. And he was talking about some things that I could relate to, like cheating and being a no good ass nigga. So I went over there and started talking to him. She really didn't say that part. I put that in. Just want to throw that out there, right? Now, from there, according to Carla, they started talking daily, and this was in August of 2006. But they were just friends, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm. Just
So let
friends.
the detectives tell it. Their first impression of her was this bitch a liar, right? They could tell, and the truth just was not in her. After the tear was
Mm-hmm.
all dried, they said that Carla was calm. She was so chill, she felt comfortable enough to answer the phone calls during being questioned. What's up with these niggas talking on the phone while being questioned?
Cause shit, me, I be in there shaking in my goddamn boots like
Nigga, I would ask for a Happy Meal and I'm snitching on niggas I don't even know about. I'm telling on everybody. I'll put that. I'm telling on everybody. I'm telling you. So the fact that these niggas answering phones, that's crazy. Crazy work. And she was just pressed about the nature. She was like I said, she answered the phone. Then of course they started pressing her about the nature of her and old dude relationship. But Carla maintained that was just a friendship. Carla said, well, people may have saw us being affectionate towards each other, but at the most, there was just a little kissing. Nigga, he was kissing and fingering. He was fingering and kissing
well, I'm
and
sure he wasn't
stroking and
doing that
poking.
at the school, but
Oh, he was fingering. Yeah. That's when fingering first happened. It's always happened at school. Come on. You know that. Remember you
no, the
told me
hell I
about
don't. I don't
you
know
remember
nothing
you told
about
me about
that.
that? No? You don't remember you told me? We'll talk about it
I ain't
later.
shut up. We ain't never talked about that. You so aggravating.
But as far as just like the full out blown romantic love affair, that's not what it was. It really wasn't. That bitch lying.
Mm-hmm.
She was getting fingered in the in the in the teacher's lunchroom by this nigga. Trust me.
Ugh. So she also claimed that Avis knew all about her and Keyon and Avis didn't mind. She said that Avis even let her keep her motorcycle in her garage. And she said, quote, he would call her for like, for instance, we were out to eat, me, him, and the other coaches, or sometimes just me and him, and we would call her. And he'd be like, oh, I'm just with Carla, whatever. So she knew about me.
Man, look, you
She
got
lied her ass off because that
mad her
wasn't true.
ass off. You know good and well ain't no black woman gonna let you just be out with this bitch, this this swinging and dangling and just kicking it. Come on, man. God damn. Like, "Oh, it's just me and Carla. Okay, y'all have a good ass time together. See
I'm with
y'all
the
later."
detective. I don't. The
Yeah,
truth ain't
exactly. We
in
know
me.
Deceptive light skin. Yo, yeah, trust me, we know. So check this out. So Detective Diller asks, "Did you ever ask him to leave Avis?" And Carla reply was no. Actually, told him, we what we have as a friendship is what we have. What you all have is what you all have. We really just talked about him leaving. We never talked about him leaving at all. Now, look, I'm not the illiterate one, okay? This is what the bitch said. So these are all quotes, okay? So I don't want y'all looking at me like this nigga can't I can't read, or I'm fucking, you know what I'm saying, having a stroke because I'm stumbling on words. No, this is her. This is what she said. Carla then tell detectives that on the day of the murder, Keyon stopped by her house around 4:50 to temporarily store some groceries he picked up for Avis. He left around 5:10. Yeah, he was stroking her. Yeah, he said he was tired of the fingering. The
He got
fingering
a
was
quick
working.
in.
Yep, he got a real quick in. Yep. So that was 30 minutes, right? Yep. So
That's
probably
enough
like
time for a
25.
quickie.
Yep, 25 minutes of talking, 3 minutes of poking, and two of cleaning up. And so he said he was going to basketball practice, right? Then he called me. That's what she said. I would say about 6:15, 6:20, maybe. And I told him I was just getting done working out and I was about to head home and take a shower. Oh, yeah, she let him know. She about to be hot and ready for him. He said, "Okay, well, I'll be back after practice to pick up the groceries." Oh, he was about to eat the booties like groceries. That's what he was about to do. So he said, "Before I go home, I'm about to pick up these groceries, aka eat the groceries." And by 7:50, Kenyon was at her house.
So Carla said that Keyon stayed about 45 minutes at her house because they was fucking before he left and went home. And then she said Keyon called and she figured he was calling to let her know that he had made it home. But she said instead Keyon was on the phone hollering and crying. She said, quote, "I couldn't understand the first few things he said. He was just saying, oh my God." And I'm like, "What is wrong with you? What's going on?" And he's like, "Carla, I need you to come over here. Something happened. Somebody hurt Avis." And I was like, "Huh?" And he was like, "I just need you to get here. Somebody hurt Avis." That let me
I don't mean I'm not laughing at the victim because I get cussed out because I made. I'm not
I'm
laughing at the victim.
I'm tripping, like,
I'm living at the ignorance of
the whole situation.
this situation.
You
Yes, you
didn't
understand.
call her parents talking about get here quick.
You
What you
called your
calling your side
side
bitch
chick
for to come to the scene?
of the
I
crime of
can't.
your main bitch.
I can't. Like I just can't with this. So
Like, this
anyway,
is your main your main.
she's pregnant with your like I can't with this. Like this just is just wild to me. So anyway, she said Keon said that he found her by the car. He said he left the garage. She was by the car. The keys were on the ground. She didn't make it in the house because she still had her purse on her shirt or something, and she was holding books or something. You know what? I'm sick of both these niggas.
I know, man. Take a break. Just to take a breather. So look, so what we're about to do, we're about to have a this is a conversation that was had between the detectives and Carla. Okay. Of course, I'm gonna be the detective and Tiffany will be Carla. So here we go, detectives. What do you think? Just hearing from what you told me and from what I told you, what do you think?
I mean, it's unfortunate. I think it's very unfortunate.
Now, from there, they have her write out her statement and they ask her if she owned a gun or if she had access to a gun. Carla told them, no, 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 no. I don't own no gun at all. Hell no. I don't play with them. I don't do shit with guns. Never liked them. But my daddy, nah, that nigga got a lot of guns that he used for hunting. And after she said what she said, they go ahead and let her go. But they not done with her though.
I would be done with her ass either. Turn her every which way but loose.
We know.
So so Avis was laid to rest just 2 days later. She was buried in
Okay,
a
stop,
family
stop,
plot.
stop. She said 2 days.
Two
Who the
days.
who the fuck buried somebody in 2 days?
I don't know. I was wondering the same thing. Like, did y'all notify the family? Y'all know niggas need 5 to 7 business days
Yes, I
to
mean,
be
they do a
prepared
fish
for the
fry? Did
funeral.
they do a GoFundMe?
I
Nothing?
just,
They must have money.
they must have, because I'm just like, damn, like that didn't even get the insurance enough time to cut the check. Did y'all embalm her? Like,
Shit, I told you we couldn't bury my uncle for almost 3 weeks. We had to prop him up in our kitchen like he was playing spades.
Okay, so sweet Jesus. Okay, and I'm also not sure if this is just like a black thing, but why every time somebody die, it's always some drama. Like it all every time a black person die, it's drama. Like I don't is this a do white people have this problem? And
I
it's like a
think
real
they
life
yeah,
question.
I
I need to
kinda think
know.
they do. Yes, death always brings out the ugly in people. I'm sorry. Death does because it's I don't know. It
Cause I
brings out
swear,
the ugly in
every
people.
time a black person die, it's some bullshit. I just be like, can we just die, bury them in peace, mourn, and go about our business? Do we have to do all the extra shit in between?
Man, I just wanna go to the repast. I told you repast got some good ass goddamn food, man. I remember me and the one girl that we can't speak of her name, she invited me to a repast, man. The only reason I went was
I remember
because
that.
that oh, you remember that? Oh, man, that
Mhm.
food was amazing, man. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know the nigga name who died, man. Rest his sweet potato soul. But let me tell you, man, whoever cooked your food, man, shit, they love you, brother. Or sister. I don't know if it's a man or a dude. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Mm, mm, mm.
I know, right? This is horrible.
So they said at the church, they said Keyon was cutting up, like just cutting up. They said he wasn't crying or nothing. Said that man was up there straight up hollering. He wasn't crying, no tears. He was just up there hollering. So Avis's sister, she was just so fucking pissed off. She just snapped. She went up there and told Keyon to shut the fuck up and she was gonna beat his ass. Before she could jump on him, her husband grabbed her and carried her outside. And from there, they said that men in the family, they was like, you know what? We about to finish what she started. And they hopped up too, but I guess there was some police in attendance and they saw some shit was about to pop off. So they intercepted, they grabbed Keon and escorted his ass out to the car. So he got his
Why the
ass
fuck
beat.
would police? There had to be some bullshit. Why the fuck would police? Do police usually be at funerals?
I've heard of security being
I
there
know it be the
funerals.
old nigga security guard that be like, be driving the car, stopping traffic to let people go, be thinking he a real police officer, to tell people to stop so the what they call that, the line of people, the
The
whatever.
procession.
Yeah, the line of people that be going to the grave and
The
they put the flags on
procession.
your car.
The procession.
Say it louder then. You Jeez, the procession, yes. But I didn't know they had actual police at funerals. I didn't know that. So now, according to Avid's parents, right after her death, they were able to get in her phone and they found texts that suggest that Avis knew Kenyon was cheating. And her parents also had a feeling that it was accurate. So let's take a swing back to Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was just a week before the murder. The entire family were in Houston, Texas for the holiday. And Deborah, remember she's Avis' mom, said that the entire time they were there, this nigga was on the phone. He just in and out of the house.
You know how black people is about that. Don't be coming in and out the house.
Yeah, we not
You
doing that,
in or
nigga.
you
Don't
out.
let my heat
You
out.
let my heat out.
Oh, but then Houston, Texas, so shit, he letting the heat in. But regardless, niggas don't that going in and out. Come on,
It's
you with
chilly in
family.
Texas in November.
Oh yeah, the shit, they got snow. You're right, you're right. So yeah. And like you said, that we not doing that. So when Avis asked him what was going on, this dude gave a lame ass excuse to mention something about his mama. You can always do that. Like, yeah, I'm just going through things about my mama. I love my mama and I put a lot of things on my mama. And I pray, God, please forgive me for that because I did. I didn't put so much shit on my mama.
Mm,
I
mm,
did. I
mm.
know that shit was wrong, but I did, man. Yeah. Your girl always got a soft spot for the mama, depending on who the mama is. So Deborah um, she saw the signs. So she definitely did. She saw the signs and she wished her baby girl had seen them because it couldn't, it could have been her. And the crazy part is, it's a possibility that she did see it, but she just didn't want to accept it. Let's be honest. So the
Mhm.
day of the funeral, which was literally 48 hours after she lost her goddamn life, the detectives got a phone call from an attorney. The attorney said that he had some valuable information that he thought may be tied to the crime. Hmm. A 38 revolver, and that's what's tied to the crime. And he also had a witness who knew who had the gun the night of the murder. Damn. So the witness was Patrick Nash, right? So who you think Patrick Nash is?
I don't know. Who is
He
he?
just so happened to be the cousin of no other than Carla Hughes. Right? Remember the one that was crying and hooping and hollering, and all of a sudden
Not
she
our black girl magic. Not
black
our
girl
black girl.
magic. Yes, nigga. Yes, 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 yes. So he told the police that just 3 days before the murder, Carla came to him and asked, "Hey, you think I could borrow your gun and a hunting knife?" And then Patrick, being the cousin that he is, he gave her the gun and it was fully loaded. But
I'm
guess
not
what?
lending nobody no gun.
I mean, it depends.
I'm
We
not
talk
lending
about black
nobody
girl
no
magic,
gun.
but no, I get what you're saying. But the black girl magic. So he may not. He not thinking a bitch about to kill somebody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he not thinking that. Know what I'm saying? He thinking that maybe something was going on. She a single woman, whatever. She just needs some protection. So the nigga looking out. I get him. He didn't do nothing wrong. He didn't do nothing
No,
wrong.
he didn't do nothing wrong, but I still ain't loaning nobody no gun.
But we know you because you are very paranoid and we do true crime all the time. So I can honestly see that, right?
Not
So
even just that, but I mean, just the thought of loaning somebody a gun. Go get your own. Why you can't get one of your own?
I get that. I get that. But again, I get what you're saying. I respect it, but then I also respect I see I understand why he did what he did. But check this out. Remember it was loaded when he gave it to her, but when she returned to the gun, that bitch was empty. And she never gave him the knife back. Now, granted, I will be kind of questioning, like, bitch, why you need a knife and a gun? Like, what the fuck you got going on? Now, maybe I will be a little leery about that. So when Carla returned the gun, according to Patrick, she was crying. Carla returned the gun literally an hour after speaking with detectives for the initial interview. Remember the one where she was saying, "Oh no, we weren't doing nothing. We just friends." And hey, yeah, we used to talk on the phone with her. And I said, "Hey, Carla." She said, "Hey, baby." Bitch, you lying. So when Patrick realized that Carla was messing with the fiance of the woman who had just been murdered, and he put the fact that she returned the gun back empty and the knife was missing, this nigga like, man, you got me fucked up.
I don't blame
He,
you.
hey, look,
I'm
he
his cuz.
yes, I would did the same thing, nigga. I'm snitching. I'm telling you, fuck what they say about snitches get stitches, nigga. I'm not a street nigga. I'm a civilian. I'm snitching, my nigga. Hands down. So he called his uncle, who just so happened to be Carla's father, to get involved because that nigga, like, I'm not getting caught up in some shit that your punk ass daughter did.
I don't blame
And
him.
and shit, he did the right thing, man. Look, I applaud. That was me clapping for that nigga right there.
So Carla's dad, Carl, he confronted Carla about the gun before Patrick had his attorney call the police. Now, Carl, he was also interviewed and he said that when he asked Carla if that gun that she borrowed from her cousin was the gun that was used in the murder, he said Carla didn't answer him. She just kind of put her head down. But he did say that Carla was not a violent person at all. He said she had the gun for protection. Her house had been broken into a couple of times because he knew he had to fix a door at the back of her house one time because it looked like somebody had tried to get in. So, of course, police they take that gun, they send it out for ballistic testing. During this time, the gunshot residue test that was performed on Keyon came back and it was positive. But they only found a speck of gunpowder on his hands. So that really don't mean much because I mean it that could have easily been transferred when he was
Yeah,
holding the
yeah,
victim's
when you
arm.
touching the body. Yep, 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 yep.
Yeah.
So Kenya also had an alibi, right? Remember his alibi was that he was playing basketball. Well, a basketball practice about 15 miles away, and he and Avis home at the time of the murder. So it was fit. So where he was playing basketball at, well, doing basketball practice, I apologize. It was 15 miles away from where they actually lived at, and an eyewitness can place him there. So, several people that can say he was where he was supposed to be. So when the autopsy came back, it showed that Avis was stabbed 3 times and shot 4 times, and the fetus was a boy, and she was in her second trimester and passed away due to the death of his mother's murder. That's horrible. Like, real talk. No joke, nothing funny. That's fucking overkill. Like, you stabbed 3 times and shot 4 times? Bitch, like, that's go you borrowed a knife and you borrowed a gun and you stabbed and you shot. Hmm. Anyway, and educated for how you that educated? So anyway, so his death was classified a homicide. 3 of the 4 gunshot wounds were fatal, and the stab wounds appeared to happen post-mortem. Right.
Like, it's like, that's overkill. You see she's already gone. Why would you that's rage. Like, she's
Yes.
already deceased. Why would you go ahead and go back and stab her? Like, come on, man.
And then speaking about going back, go back and listen to our episode of Bobby Cuts. And what's the white girl name?
Jesse Davis.
Jason. So this is our third case involving a pregnant
Pregnant.
woman getting killed. Yeah, I told you, you know all the names. I'm horrible with that. Now, with the ballistic report come back, the 38 revolver that Patrick brought in was a match for the same gun that shot the bullets that killed Avis. Damn, bitch, you going down. And Carla was in possession of the gun during the time of the murder, so they tell her to bring her monkey ass back down to the station, and we about to try this shit one more time. So now they got all this evidence against her. They about to really put they about to put the clamps on her ass right now.
So Carla, she make her way back down to the station, but this time she got an attorney. So her attorney was Johnny Wells, and he was an influential state senator from Greensville, Mississippi. He was a tobacco lawyer, and he was also a good friend of the family. Not a criminal attorney, let's just put that out there. He was a tobacco attorney. So when they get to the station, Detective Diller pulled him to the side and actually encouraged him to try and coax a confession out of Avis, because they really think that if Carla killed Avis, it was really out of like some persuading from Keyon, or she was covering up for Keyon, one of the two. So Johnny, he goes into the interrogation room with Carla, and this is how the recorded conversation went.
Okay, I'm gonna be Johnny, you be Carla, of course. Okay, okay. I'm Johnny. They are absolutely convinced that it's him, and they don't understand why you're trying to protect them.
Why is it that I gotta be trying to protect them? I mean, what do they think?
Because they think you know something?
Well, what can they charge me with tonight?
Well, they can charge you with accessory, being an accessory after the fact. He said that Patrick Lieutenant did tell me that Patrick will say he said when you gave the gun back to him, you were crying. Do you even remember that?
I wasn't crying.
Bitch, you lied. No, I'm joking. They didn't say that. He said you was crying. They want to make a deal, right? So you can stop them from charging you if you put your finger on him. And he can't understand why you won't do that. Like he says she must be in love with this cat. And I said, well, I don't know. Maybe she is.
I mean, not that. I mean, I don't. If I wasn't there when he did it, then I just wasn't there when he did it. I can't make myself say he did it. I don't know. I just know he wasn't with me.
Look, well, you know I'm a criminal law attorney and I represent, people who I know committed to crimes. Actually, I represent products like Newport, Marlboro, and of that because I'm a tobacco lawyer, but forget all that. So if they can do anything to help themselves out, we're talking about the people that I know are actually guilty, they're going to come with it. You at this point, you have to decide that you won't make a statement just to implicate him, right?
No,
Okay, and you don't want to make a statement that's going to implicate yourself, correct?
no,
Okay, that's the answer then. So neither Carla nor Kenyon had a criminal record, but as of this day, when Carla was asked to stand and put her monkey ass hands behind her back, it would read her Miranda rights before they arrested her with the murder of Avis Banks and her unborn child. Now she had one. And then on December 6, 2006, her charges were upgraded to 2 counts of capital murder, which carry a possible death penalty, which I totally get. So Carla sat in jail for 3 years awaiting trial, right? Which means she got fat because I don't know what it is about women that go to jail and sit. Nigga, they always get fat as fuck. Have you noticed that?
because they don't feed them anything healthy. They just feed them whatever.
I
So
mean, the bitch must be eating bricks and goddamn drywall or something because she putting on some goddamn weight. That's all I'm saying. They be big as hell. I'm just throwing it out there. I apologize. They say I talk about big bitches, so let me just be quiet. I'm gonna leave this alone. So she wanted to be acquitted, and during this time, the case was being prepared. The shoe print that was found on the glass door, remember what size 8? It was size 8, correct?
mhm.
Was a matching shoe with the exact same thread that was found in her closet at her home. And there was microscopic specks of blood that matched Avis on the shoe. Damn. Before she went to trial on Valentine's Day 2008, the police came to Avis with a possible lifeline. They're like, look, they said Keyon had gotten married and moved from the state. You nigga, I know this nigga then got married and moved from the state. And she in jail looking dumb as shit.
Hmm. So they
You
thought that this would get Carla to turn and finally hand over this ain't shit nigga. They even had a copy of the marriage certificate and all. They be whipping out these marriage certificates, don't they? Whew.
shut your corny ass up.
They do. They what was her
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
see, look, no. I was talking about Nadia Whitaker. She had when she went to trial, she whipped out that marriage certificate like
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes.
And I'm sure you're all wondering, who the hell did this nigga marry that quick? I mean, it literally had just been like over a year since Avis and his son were killed. But we're gonna get to that in a little bit later. And
Ooh.
all Carla said was, I'm not surprised.
Damn.
So Carla's trial started in October of 2009. Now, according to the prosecution, who was headed up by Michael Guest, this is an approximate timeline of how everything happened. They believe Avis left work at 5:10 p.m. on November 29, 2006. They said it took her maybe about 10 minutes to get home. She called Keyon at 5:36. He was at basketball practice to confirm dinner plans. Immediately after Keyon hangs up from Avis, he calls Carla. Now, according to phone records, that call from Carla's phone bounced off a cell tower just a quarter mile from Keyon and Avis's home. So it's believed that Avis was murdered between 5:50 and 6 p.m.
Ooh, so Carla was near Avis' home at 5:37 p.m. She called Keyon again at 6:05 p.m. from the same area. And we know that Keyon went back to Carla's house around 7:50. Remember, he had to pick up them groceries, aka eat the groceries. He left from Carla at around 8:30 p.m. and phone records show that at 8:31 he called Deborah, which was Avis' mom, asking her if she had heard from Avis, which again was out of character for him to do. And from there he went home, opened the garage, found Avis, etc. We know what happened from there. Kenya was just called to the stand to testify against Carla. He was on the stand for 2 days. He told the jury how he and Carla met in August 2006 and that the relationship was just sex, nothing more. Women, y'all hate to hear that. Ooh, women hate to hear that shit. I know she was sitting up there just mad as hell. Probably think about her next meal with her fat ass. He had no long-term plans for Carla. So
Wait,
he even
pause, back up. She's not even fat. Like she's not.
oh, I'm
She's a
sorry,
little thick,
maybe.
but she. I mean, I'm talking about good thick. Like she ain't big. Like leave that woman alone.
Anyway, I don't like to be interrupted while I'm presenting my case. Appreciate that. He had no long-term plan for Carla. So she was gonna be a quick side piece. That's all that he was trying planning on do. He claimed that Carla started to become clingy. Why don't these side chicks know they fucking plays? Like
I
I
can agree
swear,
with you on that one. No,
yes,
you gonna be a top. Know your fucking place, bitch.
know your place, play your role. That's why they need to teach a class on how to be a side chick and do it successfully. Damn. She wanted him to meet her parents and would introduce him to her friends as her quote unquote future husband. Oh my God. And this is so it'll be different, right? If she didn't know he was married. But
Exactly.
she knew he was married, so she knew she was a side chick. Why are you
Hmm.
introducing yourself as introduce him as your future husband? Bitch, you is delusional, man. That's it. But he saw that
We know
shit.
about these. We know about these Delulu chicks, don't
Oh,
you?
we do, man. One day we gonna tell that whole story. We gonna say her name too and shit. We probably gonna end up
No,
dead.
no, we not.
No, okay.
No, because I'll be getting no caller ID numbers on my phone. No,
We don't
ma'am.
want that. We don't want that. So at one
Mm-mm.
point, she claimed or thought she was pregnant and expecting him to leave Avis. Let me quit. Even though Avis herself was pregnant, right? So Avis pregnant, she thought she was pregnant, and she really thought that this nigga was going to leave his wife, well, his fiance, for her, the side bitch. No, it came out that the pregnancy was a false alarm. Can you claim
Or
that
she
Carla?
lied to that nigga and told him
You
she
said
was
what? Oh
pregnant.
yeah,
Or
yeah,
she
yeah,
lied. Because you
yeah.
know, bitches love to lie. Talk about, "Ooh, I think I'm pregnant."
Look, don't do that shit with me. Have that baby. I want you to. Cause bitch, it ain't mine.
You so ignorant,
I know,
man.
right? Kenya claimed Carla has started stalking him and his fiance, and even threatened to tell Avis about them. So she literally fucked up the whole side chick job. She just said fuck it, and she went from I want to be the side chick to the main chick.
That's usually how it happens. Like you said, there for real need to be a class on how to be a side
It
chick.
do, man. Like real talk, just play your position and shit. Stop letting your emotions get involved. Come on, man. Go ahead.
So that weekend after Thanksgiving, Keyon and Avis went to spend time with Keon's family in Pittsman, Mississippi. He said that Carla had asked him to leave Avis and come meet her at a restaurant outside of town, and his dumb ass did. So, bitch, you knew he was with his girl. You pull up, you driving out the way to go find this nigga. But then his dumb ass go along with it. So I'm sick of both of them. But anyway, they said Keon told them that he and Carla had also snuck off for a weekend together, and he had just told Avis that he was helping a friend move.
That's what I'm saying, man. Ain't nothing having a good ass girl when you out cheating.
So Keon was asked while on the stand if he killed Avis or had any involvement in Avis's death, and Keon said no, perjury. He was also asked if he felt responsible for her death, and he said,
If I would have stayed faithful to who I was with, if I hadn't been thinking poorly and made bad choice to sleep around and flirt with other women, this chain of events would have never taken place. Probably. This nigga. I don't know what. Yeah, that's yeah. Would that be like what's that word we looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Would that be like a narcissist response or no?
it's
It's just a weak ass.
borderline.
It's a weak ass response. So this nigga, the probably at the end, nigga, none of this would have taken place. You can't say
Exactly.
properly. Like none of it would have been taking place. Nigga, take ownership for your fuck ups, dog. Real talk. The defense headed by Johnny Walls, who is the tobacco attorney, tried to get the jury to see that this was all circumstantial evidence. There were no fingerprints at the scene of any other evidence. There could place Carla at the scene. He said that Kenya set Carla up for Avis murder. Now the matching shoe that was found in Carla's closet. See, now that's easy. And that's an explanation for that.
Keon put him there because Keon
What?
had a key to Carla's place. And Keon and Carla wore the same size shoe because a men's 8 is a women's 10. And they would occasionally wear each other's shoes. You know that one bitch, she always loved to wear your shoes and brag about it. Keon
First of
also
all,
knew
look, that was a huge bitch. She to have that was a long ass feet.
So
Sorry.
Keon also knew where Carla kept the gun and the knife that was used to kill Avis. Keon didn't want to settle down and get married and have a baby. He wanted to be free to live his life as a single man. So he had to get rid of Avis. I mean, plausible if you ask me. The defense even brought up that there was a police dog that was brought to the scene, and that dog could not pick up a stranger's scent. It's
Hmm.
interesting.
Okay. Interesting.
So, and then why didn't they test Keon's clothing for gunshot residue? Y'all tested his hands.
But not his clothing.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he could have easily washed his hands. I mean, or whatever. So, I mean, this is all plausible. And yes, phone records show that Carla was in the area when Avis was murdered. But guess what? Carla only lived about 4 miles from where Keon and Avis lived. And that day she was out running errands and she went for a jog in the park that evening. So it's not crazy that her cell phone pinged off of a tower. So the tower only put her within a 2.5 mile radius of their home. It didn't put her on their street or even at their house.
Look, for a tobacco lawyer, man, he doing pretty goddamn good. I'm just gonna throw it out there. He got some good ass, yes, shit that make you say. And to set the record straight, Johnny said that it was Kenya who sued Carla, not the other way around. He called her constantly. He was the one who volunteered to park his mistress motorcycle in the home he shared with his fiance. Now, Carla, she didn't take the stand in her own defense. Johnny felt like it was too risky. There were 9 women on the jury, and that could go either way. They could sympathize with her or they can demonize her.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Now, during the trial, you have Carla's family on one side and Avis's family on the other. Now, both of these families have lost a daughter, one to death and one to prison. Now, these families could be sitting there with hate and malice towards the other side. Carla's family, they're upset because their daughter, they feel like, is being framed, and Avis's family because this woman is the reason that their daughter is no longer here. But that's not at all what happened. When Avis's mother had to leave the courtroom because it was just too much, it was Linda, Carla's mother, who went outside to pray with and over her. Now, when the families would leave court for the day, both fathers embraced because they were both suffering without their daughters.
Damn, that's real shit right there.
Yeah, that's deep. Like, I was just like, that gave me
Yeah, that's
chills.
real shit. Yeah. Cause I would
So
have
on
hugged that
October,
nigga and I would have shanked him like they'd be in jail real quick. Like,
I'm gonna
That
need you to
was me.
grow up one day. I'm gonna need
Okay.
you to grow up one day. So on October 13th, 2009, after 8 hours of deliberation, Carla was found guilty on 2 counts of capital murder, which carry a possible death penalty. And on
Mm.
October 14th, Carla's parents and family members begged for her life to be spared. Carla's dad said, quote, "I'm not asking you, I am pleading with you to save my daughter's life because the past has shown she's very kind to a lot of people. She's a lovely lady. I simply don't get it. I simply don't comprehend everything. This isn't her." Her attorney even cried giving his last statement. He said, quote, "If you decide to kill her, there's nothing you can do to bring her back. And if you later determine that someone else committed this crime, you won't be able to correct that." Ultimately, the jury and the judge sentenced Carla to 2 life sentences without the possibility of parole for the murder of Carla and her unborn son after just an hour of deliberation. So
Mm.
both Carl and Frederick, the dads, they hugged before they left the courtroom. Both men had lost a daughter that day.
Yeah, that's real shit. Cause you know me, I would. That's me shanking, nigga. Somebody dying. So Carla, she filed an appeal August 30th, 2010, stating several factors. Number one, she had a lawyer that nigga knew more about Newports than he knew about criminal case. I just made that up. But she did file several appeals. So one of them, she said that the jury committed misconduct by submitting a note to the judge during deliberation asking whether the state could have called Carl to the stand. The verdicts were against the overwhelming weight of evidence. The trial court erred during jury selection when it denied one of Carla's preemptory challenges. And the trial court erred in overruling Carla's motion for a direct verdict, and the trial court erred by omitting DNA evidence from a pair of tread safe shoes. The appeals court looked at that and said, you know what, bitch, and upheld her conviction on June 21st, 2012. So Carla right now is currently serving her sentence at the Delta Correctional Facility in Greenwood, Mississippi. Sadly, her father, Frederick, passed in 2016. Linda said that he died from a broken heart. All jokes aside, I get that shit. Like to see your daughter, remember, he didn't have no sons, only daughter, and she was a daddy girl. To see your daughter go through that shit over a ain't shit nigga, that shit fucked him up. Because you know the first thing a father gonna do is blame themselves some way,
Mm-hmm.
somehow. Yes. So damn that shit. Yeah, rest in heaven, bro. Rest in heaven. She still feels that Caller's innocent, and she started a petition in the donation fund saying they had Caller that if she had an actual defense attorney and not a tobacco attorney, she would have had a better outcome. Bitch, you could have had Johnny, any attorney. You were not about to get anything better than what you got. Know what I'm
No,
saying?
she was. I mean, but no, I don't agree with that because that all of that was plausible. They do wear the same size shoe. What? Why did that dog not pick up a scent? I
Man,
mean, they made
look,
a
let me
lot
tell you
of
something.
plausible.
Look, you
They
just
they
saying
brought
that.
up a lot of reasonable doubt, if you ask me.
You saying that shit because you don't like the nigga. At the end of the day, she
No,
borrowed a
it's
gun.
not.
Hold on. She borrowed a gun and a knife from her cousin, right? Borrowed a gun and a knife from her cousin. The gun came back empty. Know what I'm saying? And know what I'm saying? And the knife never returned. And not only that, but the fact that it was evident, I mean, witnesses showing that during the time of the murder, he was playing basketball. That bitch guilty. She did that shit. Real talk. So she got any attorney she wanted, it would have been the same outcome. Real talk.
I mean,
Guilty.
all I'm saying is there's a lot of reasonable doubt there. That's all I'm saying.
You don't like the nigga. Shut your ass up. That's all it
But there
is.
no,
Carl,
but you can't deny that there's not reasonable doubt. Like I said, just off the fact
it's
that
not. It's nothing that was said in this case that made me thought otherwise than that she did it. And I'm being 100 with you. I'm not even lying. Like real. I'm not even joking right now.
no, I'm
There.
being so I feel like there's a lot of reasonable doubt here.
Where?
The fact that the dog didn't pick up any
That don't
scent
mean
from
shit.
a
The dog could
stranger.
have a fuck. Shit, my dog half of the time can't pick up a goddamn sense. That don't mean nothing.
Okay, so what about the fact that they connect technically could not place her at the scene? They can only put it within a 2.5 mile radius. She lives 4 miles away. So you trying to tell me I can't be in the area? I mean, come on now. You can't pinpoint exactly where she was at the time.
They
I'm just
found
saying.
blood on the shoes.
Her and Keyon wore the same shoes, and Keyon had a key to her house.
Keon was not
I'm just
at the. He was
But
not
I'm just
at the
saying
area. No,
I'm
y-
saying reasonable doubt. There's a lot of
look,
reasonable doubt. Okay, but go
Keon. Look,
ahead. Oh, okay, we never can sit here and go and argue because we'll be here all day. So continue on. I'm sorry.
see, y'all see how she really talked to me. This how I be, y'all. She
I'm just
abusive.
saying, like, I'm just saying, it's just
I'm winking for
there's a lot
help.
of reasonable doubt. I feel like I'm not saying she's innocent. I'm just saying there's a lot of reasonable doubt here, in my
Okay,
opinion.
I got you. Okay, okay, I respect it. I
We gonna
look,
see what everybody else thinks. We gonna put a poll on Spotify and see what everybody else thinks too. Because I think there's a lot of reasonable doubt here, in my
and I
opinion.
think that bitch guiltier than R. Kelly. Anyway, so Carla was also has maintained her innocence all these years, and if you want to, you can search of justice for Carla Hughes if you wish, but don't waste your fucking time. I'm just throwing it out there. All right, it's on you.
So now I'm sure you're wondering where Keyon ain't shit Pittman is. I'm gonna tell you where he is. Keyon, he now goes by the name Tariq Pittman, and he lives right outside of Detroit, Michigan. He is the recording secretary for his local chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha, and he is married to a white woman named Crystal, and he is now a certified blood cell analysis and owns Ascension Institute of Botanicals.
He
And
done
this is
found a white woman.
well, wasn't no black woman gonna marry him after they knew you
This
had
is
to do with you
oh,
killing your wife, your pregnant fiance. I'm just saying, and
so
she
you
and
trying
she's
to say,
smart.
hold on. Are you trying to tell me the only woman he could get with a white woman because they more understanding and acceptable? Is that what you're saying?
Hmm. I have a story about that too, but we're gonna tell that story on another day.
Okay.
So, this is what the website's mission reads. Our apprentice will have full understanding of natural plant, medicinal, and other means of nature to properly apply usage to one's own temple and to others for rejuvenation, higher spirit and consciousness, and true expression of one's essence and vital force. The apprentice's intellectual and spiritual growth are perpetual, and it's our goal to assist them in his or her journey exponentially in understanding that this knowledge is infinite and relative to all aspects of holistic practices.
Man, what the fuck do that mean, man? I don't understand. There's too many fucking words in it. That's come on, break it down. What is it saying?
So basically what he does is he is like he believes in holistic medicine. I had to like really do I really like deep dived into what he got going on. So he does like a lot of holistic medicine. He doesn't believe in,
Oh,
traditional medicine.
he was holistic, all right. Sorry about that.
So anyway, okay, so and if I saw a picture of him and his wife, when I tell you this nigga looks freaking miserable, he looks miserable. I also found him on because he does not have any social media pages. I've checked. He does not have any social media pages, but he was on the Alpha Phi Alpha. They wished him happy birthday. When I tell you them comments was turned off because I'm sure niggas was coming for that nigga's head because they didn't call him Tariq, they called him Keyon. So niggas knew who he was, and they was gonna come for that ass. Because on the picture on Facebook that he is with his wife, and I'm gonna find these pictures so we can post them. On the picture where they was all up and through them comments, murderer. We know you had something to do with it. And I really believe he had something to do with it too. He may not have been there, but I believe he was involved. And
I
Keon,
look, I'll give you that. No, 100%. I'll give you that. Do I think he did it? No. She did that shit, but do I think he had something to do with it? Maybe even influence her or maybe make it. I do believe that. I'll give you that.
yeah, I believe that he definitely had something to do with the murder. Like it was just too much. Like I say, because it's really giving that he didn't voluntarily propose to Avis. Again, I could be wrong because like just with how she described her upbringing, and she went and apologized to her parents, and specifically, and her parents said this. They said that she came and apologized to us and told us that she would make this right. So um that really gives that he really, what I'm saying, like, that really wasn't maybe it was his plan later, but at the time I don't think that that was really what he wanted.
I agree. I give you that. Okay. Well, that was the case of Carla, and go ahead and say it.
Carla Avis and Keyon ain't shit Pittman.
I hope you guys enjoy. Now, to our favorite segment called
Love, Lies, and Alibis.
Okay. What we got here?
Okay, so today, like we just actually just touched on briefly again, was the fact that Avis's family was very strict on sex outside of marriage and having a baby out of wedlock. So I know you've probably seen it where it's, because it's gone viral, where the young lady, you got pregnant. She's, I want to say, was 15, 16, 17, somewhere in there. And she was made to apologize to the pastor in the congregation for being pregnant. And then they also, like, that pastor went in on her.
Okay, so when we gonna play it for him right quick. That's cool.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Daughter want to approach the church at this time in Jesus' name. Come on, Sister Mal.
Praise the Lord, saints.
Stand right in front of the congregation. Yeah, right in front of you. Don't touch that table.
I want to apologize to everybody in here because I am pregnant. I'm sorry, y'all. And I just hope that y'all all forgive me and will pray for me.
Okay. Wow. Goddamn. Ooh, God's people. God's people. Let the church say amen. So what you got to say about that?
The only one I owe an apology to, I'm gonna go repent. I'm gonna talk to Jesus, and the rest of y'all can kiss my ass.
Ooh,
How about that?
God damn. Ooh,
Because
straight to the point.
you can't judge me. You like, and because it was just how he said that we not gonna give you a baby shower. But this is the kicker to me is I came across where the mother of the young girl came back and she wrote, because she was just like, I need y'all to stop with the harassing and of my pastor. He's doing the Lord's work. First of all, ain't no man walking this earth perfect. Ain't no sin bigger
Okay,
than
let's start right there. Look, I mean interrupt you, right? But that kills me so much when they say that. So granted, I'm not. I consider I'm a Christian. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my walk ain't what it's supposed to be, but at the end of the day, I know what I'm supposed to be and what I'm not supposed to be doing. So let's just talk about the pastor. It killed me when pastors do shit like that because number one, ain't no sin greater than the next. And it's not your job to judge and call somebody out like that whatsoever. We as a church, as Christians, we're supposed to be there to support, to help, you know what I'm saying, no matter what the circumstances are. And for you to sit up there and put her out on blast like that speaks volumes of who you are as an individual. Because trust me, they say who sin, you know what I'm saying, who is not sin cast the first song. Right? Did I say it right? Yes, I did say it
yes.
right.
And then
And
it's aggravating because you're supposed to go to church for healing. You're supposed to go to church to hear the word. You're not gonna sit here and and that's why so many people are turning away from church. Like, I'll never
yes,
forget.
that's why some people get church hurt. That's why it's just so many individuals right now that do not trust churches or pastors, do not trust churches because of the pastors or the actual members of the church.
And
Like
I
I
can
hate to say it.
personally attest to that because I'll never forget.
Yes.
I want to say Isaiah was about 6 because the younger two were like Zari. they had to be 1 and 3. Generations had to be 1 and 3, and Isaiah had been going to church with his grandmother on his dad's side, and he was getting baptized. And of course, I'm coming to church, bringing my babies. My mom's coming. We're all there, and I remember we were just standing around. I don't know if it was after church, whatever the situation was, but this older lady came up to me because I had two younger ones, and she asked me about Isaiah getting baptized, and she's like, "That's really good." And I was like, "Yeah," and she was like, "Oh, are those your babies?" I said, "Yeah, these are these are my babies." And she said, "Oh, are you married?" And I said, "No." She's like, "Well, baby, you need to keep your legs closed."
Well, damn.
And I wanted to be like,
And let me tell you, it be the old bitches too. Excuse my French, but that's what they are. It be the old sanctified bitches that be saying the most reckless, disrespectful shit and think that they right and try to justify it by saying they saying it in the name of the Lord. Take your old fake religious ass and get the fuck on. Because I'm telling you, majority of the reasons that individuals are real hesitant to attend church is not because of what the Bible says, it's the people in the church and how they act. Like, get your holier than thou ass the fuck on. Like, that shit is crazy to me. Know what I'm saying?
and,
The
and the
way,
thing is, is it be the people that's talking the most shit. The deacons be sleeping with the congregation.
man,
Pastor over here embezzling money. Like, it's so much stuff
but
going on, but you want to call me out?
But not even that. Majority of the old that was a lot. That's so fucking what's wrong with the church and everything. You're supposed to get the older men of older men of the church supposed to minister to the younger men, but we're supposed to minister the right way according to what the Bible says. The women's supposed to do the same thing. A lot of these older women be fucking jealous and what you call it, jealous and know what I'm saying, petrified of the younger women. So they do shit like that to run on the fuck off. Cause why would she say some shit like that to you? Till you close your legs. I mean, granted, you did have a lot of goddamn kids, but they ain't her business.
So first of all, shut your ass up. And secondly, you don't, like I said, but you don't know my situation. What if my husband had died? You understand?
Exactly.
Like,
You're
what if I
right.
was
There
a
you go.
widow? What if I was in
Yes.
an abusive relationship? You don't know
There
what
you
my
go.
situation was at the
There
time.
you
So
go.
who are you to come and tell me about what I need to do? If you, first, and have we not forgetting that babies are like new life is a blessing any which way it goes.
No, wait, hold on now. God damn it, some kids sometimes they don't necessarily be blessings. But in this case, you're right. Kids are blessings and they're a gift from God, right? Pure point blank. And the fact that the church it says in there that they ask Christians to take care of the widows and the children. That's what it tells you to take care of. The widows, the mother, I mean, the ones who don't have husbands, whether they died or they don't have them, and the children. That's what we're called to take care of. And they'll be the main ones that they be disrespecting.
No,
So
because it
let me
took
tell you
me
this.
years to go back to church. Like, I think I didn't go back to church until, and I was so scared to go back to church because I was pregnant with the last one, and this girl at my job invited me to come to church, and I was like, "Girl, I don't go to church." I was like, "And I'm
That's
pregnant." I was
sad.
like, "They not go," and she was like, "No, I promise you." She was like, "Come, they are going to love you." She's like, "They gonna love on you." And when I tell you, I got there, and
My
the
church,
only
right? Wasn't it my church?
no, this was
Was
before I went to that church.
okay, okay.
Um, they when I tell you, like, my entire I was like maybe 4 or 5 months pregnant. They loved on me. They made sure I ate. They invited me to Bible study. When I had my baby shower, they was there with the biggest gifts, like the baby's first
That's
birthday.
what you're
And
supposed to do.
exactly, he
Yes.
christened Jair, all of that. Like,
All
they
that,
did not.
yes. But I mean, let's be honest. I know this is very cliche, like a cliche, but what would Jesus do? Like, people really gotta live like that. Like, if you truly consider yourself a Christian, or if you did consider yourself a person that's know the word of God, and you know the characteristics and the mind of Christ, then you should know what he would and would not do. And that's one of the things he did not do when he spoke to the woman at the well that he knew was messing around with all them niggas and everything like that. He didn't dog her and say, "You little dirty ass slut." He didn't. He just let her know, like, "Hey, this is what it is. You could turn your life around. Hey, give your life to me." That was it. That was all it was. When they was still there stoning a woman or whatever, he stopped him like, "Nigga, I know you ain't stoning with your old faggot ass. And we ain't gonna talk about you, John. I know what you do in the dark with that lotion. And you like to touch kids." I'm just saying, everybody got flaws. Everybody got sin. There's no way for that pastor to do no shit like that. I swear to God, I hope he get put out. I hope they shut that punk head church down.
But it's like, but when it gets to the point like that, it becomes a cult. Like this lady on TikTok, she was talking about how the same situation happened to her but she said she ended up marrying her baby daddy. But she was like, it was so much like a cult, and she was like, they couldn't stand me because I, was like, I'm not apologizing. She said she literally told me, y'all kiss my ass. I'm not apologizing. She's like, and then she's like, and then I called my mama, and my mama was up there in 20 minutes. So, but then today she posted an update video and she called that church out.
Out. Yeah. Yes.
She said
Yes.
the pastor was sleeping with such and such. She said they was embezzling the church funds.
All that.
She
Yes.
posted the church everything. She's like, this is not a church, this is a cult. She said the
Yes.
deacon was had two women in the congregation pregnant at the same time. I was like, whoo.
But that's the shit though they do. And I'll say this and then we end this because so we don't go too long because we could do this all day. That's be the one of the biggest issues is the one when you do shit like that, you are really putting a spotlight on yourself. You know what I'm saying? When you do shit like that, people gonna focus, well, what the fuck are you doing that you feel comfortable enough to have her do some shit like that? It's nothing in the Bible that even says that you air out or you expose a person because they get pregnant. Don't make it, what happened if I got pregnant because I was raped?
Exactly. Like I said, you don't know my
You
situation.
like you don't
Who
even
are
fucking
you
know,
to
dog.
judge?
Yeah, so I'll say this, man. Fuck that pastor, period, point blank. And I hope the church gets shut down. And Tiffany, you just posted something on Facebook 8 minutes ago. What are you doing?
Because I have to keep up with my posting
Just say,
schedule while
how
I'm
do you
here.
do it all? How do you do it all? Just I gotta give you props. So look, that's the end of Love Lies Alabama. You want what's up? What we got to say before we go?
Okay, so we appreciate you listening as always.
Yep.
Make sure you're following us on all social medias. TikTok. We pray we have it. Come on, Jesus, come through. Don't shut us down yet.
So look, wait, real quick. If you do, just get a VPN. That's it.
And put it in China.
My VPN be remember you was like, oh shit, we got somebody in Japan. That was me. I was
Um,
listening to yeah. So get a VPN. If you want TikTok, you literally can just get a
but it
VPN.
won't be interesting because most of the people are in the US. Everybody
True.
will get
Okay,
VPN.
no, true. I didn't get that
Um,
part, but okay, you're right. Go
so
ahead, my
remember
bad.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, we are Melanin Mysteries Podcast. As always, our girl Khadijah, um, just donate $1 to her GoFundMe. Like we really would appreciate it. I'm not gonna give up on this. I actually have a new lead as far as trying to get her an attorney. Like we need help. We need help. That's all I'm gonna say. Like I said, we are not saying that she's innocent. We are not saying any of that. I'm sure y'all know by now because we literally say this on every single episode.
We just said she need a fair shot. That's it.
That's it, and that's
She
all.
need a
A fair
fair shot.
trial. That's it, and
A
that's
fair
all. And
trial.
that requires money.
Yep.
Um, so that's that. Make sure you leave us a 5-star rating wherever you're listening. We would really appreciate that. We are still loving all the comments and everything's, and we appreciate you all. And that's all I got. Anything else?
No, that's it. I'm good. Yep.
I'm gonna put that poll on Spotify because I want to hear from you if you think there was enough reasonable doubt in this case, or do you side with Willie and you feel like she was full on guilty? Let us know what you think. I'll put the poll on Spotify for y'all to answer, and we'll talk about it again.
Amen.
All right. So remember, love should not come with a life sentence. So make sure you choose freedom and not felonies.
There we go. And with that being said, thank you for listening to us. We really appreciate it. We'll catch you next time.